Hey guys, it's Izzy and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be talking all about school. I've been thinking about... If you didn't know, I'm 16, which means I finished secondary school last summer. And I'm now doing sixth form. My sixth form is at my school that I went to, but I basically just wanted to talk to you about school and the challenges and differences of going to school when you have a disability, because it's not as plain sailing as some people may think. And obviously at the moment I am not going into school, I'm just staying at home, so it really gave me time to reflect on things that are just annoying about going to school and how unnecessarily difficult when as of what I'm doing right now, I'm just sitting in my bedroom doing it. So I've made a list. I think there's about 8 or 9 things on it. But let me know down below if you go to school with a disability or have been to school with a disability and have any other points. Okay, so the first one is you stand out massively. Now I always found this with school. I feel like everyone kind of at school looks pretty similar. Obviously no one can really express themselves too much. We couldn't ever do like crazy like hair dye, and obviously you're following a uniform, so people follow like everyone looks relatively similar. And when you have a disability that's like mine, where you're like hello, then you do really stand out, and this is something that took a while to adjust to me. My school, there were quite a lot of people with disabilities, as they have a really good like special needs department, but other schools that I went to look around, I would have literally been the only person with a disability. So that was something to bear in mind when I was applying to schools in the first place. I didn't want to be the only person that looked a little bit different. But yeah, you do stand out quite a lot even when you are in a school where there are other people with a disability. I don't really mind it, but it's a fact, do you know what I mean? Okay, so the next one is at our school we have what we call LSAs, which is Learning Support Assistants. It's basically a teaching assistant, but we call it something fancy, and they would sit with me in a lesson. Sometimes they are one-on-one, other times they are around a few children in the classroom, and I always found that I wanted help and I needed help, but I didn't want help because I didn't want to seem different. And obviously if someone's helping you write your work and stuff, it does make you seem a little bit different, and that was always quite frustrating for me when I was like in the younger years, because I didn't want to then accept help because I really didn't want to look different. I wanted to be like cool, sat by myself. Whereas as I started to get older and going into like my GCSE years and stuff, I really didn't care because I was just like, oh, they're helping me. But that was something that took a bit of adjusting to, because I don't know, I think in primary school I was always like, oh, it's cool, I've got an LSA. Whereas in secondary school I started to see it as more of a negative, which is not, but I didn't really want to stand out. And again, I feel like that really does make you stand out if someone's sat helping you. So I really communicated with them and said, look, I don't want you to like clobber me, I don't want you to like be with me all the time, like I'll help, like I'll ask if I need your help and stuff like that, just to make sure that I could sit and I could mess about and I could have a chat without someone sat like listening to it all. The next one is when you're in a school surrounded by kids, they can be mean sometimes. And whether you're watching this about to go to school or just out of curiosity, I really thought it was necessary to put this in. Kids, especially at school age, are very nasty sometimes. A lot of it's down to them not understanding, them not being educated in people's differences and stuff like that. And I feel like secondary school is the time when you get exposed to so many different people. I went from a primary school with like 200 people to a secondary school with like over 1,000, so it was quite of a shock. You saw a lot more people from a lot of different backgrounds, different religions, all sorts of stuff like that. And obviously with that, people are nasty to some of the people that stand out, and as someone with a disability I kind of fell under one of them categories. And yeah, I feel like if anyone's going to be nasty to you, my disability is like always something that kind of gets targeted, and it's like, do you want to be a little bit more inventive? Because I heard that before, someone said that to me before, and I have already decided I don't care about that. So the next one is moving around loads. Now this is one I've noticed since working from home. You have to walk around so much in school, from lesson to lesson, to lunch, to break. Honestly, I just feel like we were always walking, whereas at home I'm just sat like at my desk doing all my lessons from the same place. And yeah, I feel like it's something that I never really realised that I did at school. until like I had a day where my leg hurt, and oh my god, and them days when my legs really hurt, and I would never like I would never use my wheelchair to go to school. That is just an absolute no-go for me. So I just walk on it, and it hurt. And I'd be trying to like, it'd always be the day on my timetable where I was between buildings the most or walking around the most, and it is so annoying. Even now I have it sometimes, and I'm just like, and it's always the day where I have room changes, so I go to one room and then find out I'm not there, and it's like, oh my gosh, are you trying to kill me? Because that's honestly what it feels like. So yeah, you do have to walk around quite a lot. Now this is one that I've learned this year. I used to either carry my books and struggle or get someone else to carry my books for me, whereas this year I have started, obviously I've gone to having folders, and they're heavy, so I've started carrying them around in like my school bag. I'm just walking around with my school bag because our school has lockers, so you just put all your stuff in there and then just take out what you need. I know not every school has lockers, that's such a weird situation for me. But yeah, I really found that carrying my stuff in a bag meant that I could still use my arms to open doors, do like the lift and all stuff like that, whereas before I just didn't really, that didn't come to my head. And whoa, so revolutionary when I kind of came to that conclusion that that'd be a smart idea to do. Next one is when you are around new teachers, new LSAs, new people. The amount of times I literally have to be like, hi, I am intelligent, I promise, because I feel like a lot of them deal with lots of kids that are like autistic and stuff like that, where they aren't great at learning and stuff like that, and quite a lot of the time then when they come to help me, they'd be like trying to do my work for me and trying to tell me the answers, and I'm like, I know. So yeah, I kind of got to the point where I had to like make sure that the teachers prepped all the new staff that were going to be around me, that I do have a brain and I am really quite intelligent, and yeah, and I felt so snobby like having to tell them, but it just is really demoralising for someone to come over and like trying to treat you like a baby or anything like that, which sometimes I did have the encounters of, and it used to really wind me up. So I really worked out that communication is key when working with like staff members that don't just specifically teach you or the people with your like just a physical disability. As I started getting up the older years of school, this issue became more and more prevalent. Now, I'd be doing my GCSEs and it was so difficult for school to find subject specific LSAs that were as smart as me or that were as qualified as me, and when you're doing like science or something like that, it made it really challenging for them to like write down big words if they weren't like a specialist in science. And it's just something that's like, oh my gosh, like it always used to make me laugh because I'd be kind of teaching myself or like taking in the information myself whilst like helping my LSA sometimes. And yeah, I feel like it's something that I never realised would happen because I just kind of assumed that they knew the content, but a lot of LSAs actually don't because they're just there to support people, and then I think quite a lot of the time people don't expect you to be in like the high sets and stuff. Okay, so the next one is PE sucks. That's literally what I've written on my note here. I hated doing PE my entire time I was in secondary school, and when my legs got really bad, I made a video about it, I'll put it up top. I kind of used to just sit out of PE because it got to the point where it was really painful for me to do PE, because when I do like sports on my legs I need to then like take them off after to let the skin like cool down properly, and obviously at school I couldn't do that, so I used to not do PE, and in the end I just didn't even show up to PE anymore because I didn't want to do PE. And yeah, I don't really know what else to say. I think PE is awful. Okay, so the last one is that sometimes in school you can't do everything, and this was really annoying for me. I think in science I probably found it the most. A lot of the experiments were really fiddly and like with Bunsen burners and stuff, and I just kind of sit there and watch because I'd feel like I'm going to ruin it, I don't want to do this. And yeah, it can be a little bit frustrating when you're around your peers because that's like the time where I want to like I guess show off the most and be like as normal as possible when I'm around like my friends and stuff, and when I want to fit in the most, but you can't sometimes, and it used to be quite frustrating for me in that situation. Don't in any way think that this is like me shading my school, because it's really not. My school have been amazing to me the entire way through my secondary school experience, through sixth form so far, and from helping me and supporting me whilst I'm at home. So yeah, I know some of the teachers may watch this, so if they do, I promise I'm not shading them. I just thought it'd be interesting to make a video about school when you have a disability, because I mean, my parents never thought I'd end up at a proper like school. They kind of assumed that I'd have to go to a special school, and that's not the case. The school have adapted quite a bit for me to be able to use it. And yeah, if you want to know more in detail about school, then do let me know, and I can make a whole separate video about like how I picked my school and the different bits I had to keep in mind and everything like that. Do let me know. But yeah, if you did enjoy this video, then make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye!